Now, before we get into this, I do just want to say one thing. We're closing in on 700 subscribers, and I tend not to ask people, hey, subscribe, like, and all that stuff. I do it occasionally. Only reason I'm bringing this up is I believe September 9th of last year was my first upload, and I had the goal of hitting 1,000 subscribers within the year. And that is looking like a very, very realistic goal. So to each and every one of you, I thank you so much. But enough of the sappy shit. Let's get into Season 3. And I'll say this, I'll give you another quick look at the team as well. Seasons 1 and 2 were full rebuild. Season 3, we have a strong chance to make the playoffs. I'm not going to go through the lineups, obviously you can take a look. But if our players perform the way they need to, we very well could make the playoffs this season. And that is the hope. So let's get into this. Thatcher Demko will make his NHL debut here against the Edmonton Oilers. And you know what? It's such a special occasion. We're going to sim this one live. This is the beginning of the Demko Dynasty. Let's see what happens. First period, 1 goal apiece. Austin Matthews, the first goal of the new campaign on Ryan Miller. Second period, Jimmy Vesey gets a goal on Miller. And in the third period, Jesus Christ alive, boys, we might have something going here. Holy shit. Steven Stamkos, Troy Stecher, Steven Stamkos, Jonathan Drouin, my God. 3 goals in under a minute. And then Jared McCann and Drake Caggiula they had more goals. 3 goals on Talbot. Wow. That is a statement. What a way to start off the season with a 6-goal performance in the third period and an 8-1 victory over the Oilers. What a start. You could not have asked for anything better in that first game. Eddie Lack will start the next game here against the Colorado Avalanche, and then we will do a considerable amount of simming up to the Carolina-Montreal series. I'm not sure which game we will put Lack back in, but Lack, what can you do? Okay, good year for rookies. We'll see. He said that last year. Lack, what can you do against Colorado? It's a 5-2 win. We start off the season in perfect fashion. And like I said, we are going to sim up here probably to the Carolina game. I think we'll give Eddie Lack this game against the Hurricanes on October 27th. Let's see what happens. Can we continue this hot start to the new season? A 6-2 run to start the new season. I am more than happy with that. Losses to the San Jose Sharks and the Washington Capitals, but some big wins against St. Louis and Chicago. We are currently in third place in our division. Right now, the Anaheim Ducks off to a great start. We know we're in a tough division with the California teams, but if the start of the season is any indication, we are going to be able to hang with them this season. Will we win the division? No, let's be honest. We're not winning anything this season. The goal is to just get into the playoffs and once again neutralize the high-ranking pick for the Tampa Bay Lightning, who of course are already well into their rebuild. But we lose 2-1 to the Hurricanes. Eddie Lack cannot beat his former team. Thatcher Demko is back in the goal, in the month of October will already be done. We will sim up to this. Let's sim up to the Predators game because I want to win against Calgary. So we'll have Demko play that game. So another decent sim period here coming up. Can we continue our winning ways, or will this 2-game losing streak continue and crush my hopes just a little bit? Things are looking up for these young Canucks, and yes, I said it. And I will die on that hill for that terrible, hokey statement. But so far, so good. 10 wins and 5 losses on the season. We get the win over Montreal, lose to New Jersey. Wins against Nashville and Philly to start the month, and then a loss to Arizona. But we did get that win over the Flames. So Eddie Lack will be in goal for this game against the Nashville Predators, and we have overtaken the LA Kings for second place in the division. No progression yet from Demko. That's a little bit disappointing. I think if I had to set a goal for him, it would be to reach 85 overall by the end of the season. Eddie Lack with a 6-0 shutout victory for us, and things continue to look up as we get a little bit of space away from the Sharks and the Kings, but we're only 16 games into the new season. Anything can happen. Bo Horvat, I actually just noticed, is up to an 86 overall. Oh man, do we screw with the lines? Jimmy Vesey's progressed as well. I'm so tempted to put Horvat up on the second line because we still need good progression from him. But I don't think splitting up the lines would be good. Vesey has 10 points, Bo Horvat 13, and Mantha with 12. We might have something with that line. But I'm really tempted. Right now, too, the Caggiula-Hansel line, 10 points for Caggiula, 7 for Hansel, and 7 assists for Elias Lindholm. If things start to go downhill, we'll be putting Bo Horvat onto the second line. But we're in second place. Let's not mess with what is working. And we have another decent sim period here coming up. And we will go to the St. Louis game, the Winnipeg Jets. A really good team, so we'll have Demko in against them. Let's see what happens in these next 5 games. So things started off a little bit rough with back-to-back losses to the Flames and the Senators, but we are currently riding a 3-game winning streak. We have fallen back into 3rd place in the division. The Anaheim Ducks are going to be pretty difficult to catch, but things are going well for us. Again, if we can just get into the playoffs, I will be more than happy. Still no progression from Thatcher Demko, but we are just 21 games into the new season. Eddie Lack against the St. Louis Blues gets a 3-2 win, but Nikita Trampkin goes down for a couple of weeks. As much as I would love to call up Slavin or TJ Brennan, they are both at risk of being claimed on waivers once we have to send them back down. So Andrew Ferentz, at 38 years old, is in the lineup, and that is why I signed him, just in case, rather than having like a really low overall guy. He's at least decent enough to step into the lineup. So moving forward, Thatcher Demko will be back in goal as we move into the month of December, and we will be going up until, I'm going to say Toronto had a really good season last year from what I remember. So we're going to go up until this game against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I should have mentioned this from the top. I mentioned this in the comments section of my last video. Both Sedins have retired. Victor Hedman has been traded to Colorado. I'm going to guess that happened exactly on deadline day. So Tampa is a pretty rough-looking team right about now. Let's go ahead and sim up to this game on December 9th against the Lightning. Okay, now EA, I know between the Bruins GM mode and now this Vancouver GM mode, I've given the morale system a lot of slack so far, but holy shit. Just holy shit. He's injured. You got the little symbol in the corner there. He's injured. He is unplayable. And he is complaining about his minutes. I swear to God, if we lose Trampkin because of the morale system, if he just turns and just goes into a downward spiral like we saw with Brad Marchand in the Bruins GM mode, if that happens, I am stopping this series and just moving on, and we'll start over with some other team. We better not lose him. 18-10 is where our record stands at this point. A loss to the Stars, but a win over the Detroit Red Wings to end the month of November. December's been a little bit rough so far, a 2-2 record, but we have this game here against the Lightning. Trampkin is back. As far as I can tell, his morale has not dropped. Thatcher Demko is in net for this one. We went best lines with the Trampkin injury, so Eddie Lack had gotten some starts he wasn't supposed to get because, of course, he is a higher overall. An oversight on my part, but we have a big sim period again here coming up as we move forward. We're going to go to this LA game and give Eddie Lack that game, but let's see what happens here as we breeze through the month of December, and hopefully we can continue to be competitive. One game. One fucking game. And Trampkin is injured again until essentially the end of the month. He had one game, a 2-1 shootout win over Tampa, and we lose him again. Just really, come on now. Come on now. I swear to God, and I'll even show you the footage. We get Trampkin back. He plays one game, and again, he is hurt. EA, you are fucking killing me here. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like this in all my years of playing NHL games. Holy hell. So thankfully that sim period is over. 2 Nikita Trampkin injuries later. We of course picked up a couple of wins here against Buffalo a 2-game losing streak in there, and then a win over LA and a 4-0 loss to the Anaheim Ducks brings our record to 22-13. Still no losses in overtime, but surprisingly, the Calgary Flames have surged on to take the number 1 seed, or at least the number 1 spot in this division, so the California teams are falling just a little bit, and we have obviously had some injury concerns at this point. I went with best lines. Andrew Ference, wow, I didn't realize he had plummeted in overall, so thankfully he only played 1 game in that spot. Wow. So because of Andrew Ference declining, we've called up TJ Brennan, of course the captain of the Utica Comets at the moment. He will play a considerable amount of time here as Trampkin is out until January 11th. We get a 5-1 win over the King. I'm done. Oh my God. EA, what are you doing to me? Colton Parayko now injured, and our depth is being tested here, especially defensively. Our depth is really being tested. So for the next few games, these are the defensive pairings, and yeah, defensive depth is certainly an issue for us at the moment. It'll be Stetcher with Tanev, Brennan with Madison Bowie, and Renat Valiev will get the call-up and will be in the lineup over Andrew Ference. He will play with Frankie Corrado. If you look at the current Toronto Marlies lineup, we have 3 of them right about now, so thank you very much, Marlies. We will have to edit the AHL lineup as well here really quick, though. With Demko back between the pipes, we are going to sim these next 3 games live because I am going to end this episode a little bit earlier than I normally do. I normally like to go up to the All-Star break, but I want to give you guys a look at the point totals and the progression thus far, and of course give you a chance to have your input as we move forward to the trade deadline. If we don't do too much during the trade deadline, it will be we'll just be simming up to the end of the season in the next episode. We lose to the San Jose Sharks. I hate this calendar. Oh my God. I don't like much about this game, apparently. We lose to the Sharks, get wins, though, against the Coyotes, and a 3-0 shutout against the Jets, which pushes our record to 25 wins with 14 losses, and we, through 39 games, currently sit in first place in our division. The Ducks do have a game in hand and are only 1 point behind, but frame a picture of that, because that might be the last time you see it this season. But we have turned it around. We are right on schedule in terms of where we want to be at this point in the series. So quickly, let's go over the point totals at this point. You guys know the lineups. It is the same thing it has been all season. Feel free to go back and look if you need to. Jonathan Drouin, our leading point getter, an 86 overall, 37 points. He is working marvelously with Steven Stamkos, who's up to 36 points at a 95 overall. Stetcher actually in 3rd place, 85 overall, 26 points. Mantha with 23, Hansel with 23, BC, Lindholm, and Horvat at 22, Kajula at 21, Matthews, only 5 goals on the season. His line mates have at least 15 or 16 more points than him. Do we keep Austin Matthews on the top pairing? Do we keep him on, or do we keep him at center? Do we maybe move Stamkos back to center and put him on the wing? Let me know what you guys think there. But man, Stetcher's plus 23. Virtanen and McCann both with 14 points and 11 points for Slapishev. So that 4th line kind of trailing a little bit, but they are chipping in here and there. And let's see, is there anybody else here towards the bottom? Not really. So there you have it, our forward core and our defense, our skaters even, our skaters. Let's take a look really quick as well at the goalies, and we have had some spectacular performances thus far. Eddie Lack, of course, 84 overall, a .933 save percentage through 11 games is pretty damn good, but that's your Demko. Even better, the save percentage is weaker at a .925 than it is through 28 games, so I'm happy with the goaltending, and of course he is up now to an 84 overall. Down in Utica, we have seen some progression from Troy Timpano, up to a 71 overall with a decent save percentage, and Ty Edmonds up to an 82 with a .928 save percentage. He very well could be competing for Goalie of the Year in the AHL. As far as our point totals go, Solar doing very well. He's up to a 78, Alvanessa 74. Cole Castles up to an 81. His role is 4th line, so we might very well be seeing him depending on what trades we do, we could be seeing him by the end of this season. Patrick Laine, only a 69 overall at this point. Puljujarvi's point production is pretty low. I was hoping to see a little bit better out of those guys. But there you have it. That is the AHL. That is the NHL. You guys have seen the stats. Let's wrap this baby up. Two things of note here. Drouin and Stamkos are 3 and 4 in terms of scoring, just behind Ben and Seguin. But Daniel Sedin didn't retire. He's a Boston Bruin. Of course, I previously thought he retired when he was no longer on Tampa. I knew their contracts were coming up, but I figured he retired. He did not. As a matter of fact, neither Sedin retired, and they both ended up on Boston, which to me says Tampa made another trade that I just simply didn't see. To be honest, I didn't look after the deadline. Once we sim past deadline day, I didn't look. Normally I do. But both Sedins ended up on the Boston Bruins. Now the Bruins are in a relatively good place, 4th place right now in their division. But we kind of joked about it in the past. Maybe this season should be Operation Save the Sedins. Hashtag Save the Swede. I hate using hashtags. Why the fuck did I just say that? I am ashamed of myself. And with that, I end this episode. I thank you guys so much for watching. Truly, let me know down in the comments below what you thought not only of this episode, but where we should go in the next one. Who should we acquire? Should we acquire anybody? What should we do? What should our course of action be? And I hate to do this, but as always, if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to drop a like. It helps, and it will be really appreciated. And if you haven't already subscribed for some more content like this GM Mode series, like some tutorials coming out, maybe in the near future. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.